My name is Gabrielle Burton, and I'm a Christian licensed marriage and family therapist with 10 years' experience in the field, specializing in narcissistic and spiritual abuse. And I'm the author of The Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Gold Digger, Discovering the Hidden Treasures Within, which combines biblical and mental health principles that equips Christians to become mentally and emotionally healthy. The quality of our life is directly correlated to the quality of our relationships, so I help you dig deep for the value in your relationships with God, yourself, and others. You can get my book on Amazon to dive deeper. Hey friends, welcome back to my podcast. I'm Gabrielle Burton, and today we're diving into something that's so relevant for many of us: how to be emotionally healthy, aware, and connected in today's world. Now, have you ever been in a room full of people but felt so completely disconnected? Like everyone's having conversations, but you're standing there feeling invisible? I had a moment like this recently. I was sitting in a sauna and I struck up a conversation with the guy sitting next to me. He was on his phone, and so I said, "Your phone works in here? Mine won't work after a few minutes." And of course, that sparked a conversation. Eventually, he scooted a little closer to me, and he asked me what I did for work. "I'm a therapist," I said. And he quickly replied, "Boy, do I need you." I laughed and said, "Story of my life. Everyone needs me." And you know what? That's what it feels like to be an empath. People are drawn to you, and they want to take your emotional energy and share all their struggles and pain. But what they often don't consider is what I need or what I'm going through. Because after all, I'm a therapist, right? It's like I'm supposed to always have it together. Our country is facing a loneliness epidemic. Did you know that loneliness is as toxic as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day? Let that sink in for a second. Mental health is not just my problem as a therapist, it's everyone's problem. And if more people were more emotionally healthy and more connected and more aware of themselves and others, this whole mental health crisis would look very differently. If people were more intentional with their emotional health, my job would be obsolete. Now, we live in a world where everyone is obsessed with what things look like, especially on social media, but it boggles my mind with how little we focus on how things feel in real life. How many of those people that you're connected with on social media would actually show up for you in an emergency? The truth is, social media gives us a quick dopamine hit, a validation. It gives us a nice little escape or some entertainment. But what it leaves us with in the long run is sadness, disconnection, loneliness. The secret to real deep connection is curiosity. People don't need more advice or a quick fix. They need to be seen. They need to know that someone actually cares about how they feel, not just how they look. So, here's a quick tip for you. If you're not sure what to talk to someone about, here are 5 different topics that are a great way to check in on how someone's doing. First, ask them, how's your sleep? How's your eat? How's your play? How's your love? And how's your work? I mean, it's that simple. These are the foundations of emotional health, and they're things we often overlook in our busy lives. And here's the thing: talking takes energy, but listening gives energy. We need more givers in this world. We need more people who are willing to listen and hold space for others instead of just taking and consuming. Now, I want to bring in a powerful story from the Bible that shows us exactly what it means to be emotionally connected and how Jesus models compassion for us. Talking about the story of the woman caught in adultery from John 8:3-11. The Pharisees brought this woman to Jesus, accusing her of committing adultery. They were ready to stone her, as the law required for such a sin. But Jesus, seeing the situation, didn't respond the way they expected. Instead, he knelt down and started writing in the sand. When the crowd pressed him for an answer, he said, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." One by one, the accusers dropped their stones and walked away until only the woman and Jesus were left. And what did Jesus say to her? He said, "Woman, where are your accusers? Has no one condemned you?" She replied, "No one, Lord." And Jesus responded, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." Now, what stands out to me here is that Jesus didn't see her as a sinner. He saw her as a person in need of grace, compassion, and healing. He didn't shame her. He didn't cast judgment. He connected with her emotionally, spiritually, and physically in a way that restored her dignity. He met her in her mess, and he offered her the love and the forgiveness that she so desperately needed. Now, this is the heart of emotional health and connection. Jesus didn't make excuses for the woman's actions, but he saw her for who she truly was, a person worthy of grace, worthy of restoration. And in that moment, he gave her something far greater than just forgiveness. He gave her an opportunity to start over and to live differently. So, what can we learn from this story? The first thing is this: Jesus didn't let this woman's mistakes define her. He saw past the behavior and connected with her heart. He met her emotional and spiritual needs before anything else. And in the same way, we're called to see others, not just for their actions or their mistakes, but for the humanity. And when we do that, when we connect with people at that deep level, that compassionate level, we're walking in the footsteps of Jesus. In Romans 12:15, Paul encourages us to rejoice with those who rejoice, but weep with those who weep. This is a beautiful picture of emotional health. It's the willingness to meet people where they are, to celebrate their victories, and to sit with them in their pain, even when it's not convenient. And when we do this, we're creating the kind of relationships that build real connection and community. We also learn that healing requires vulnerability. Jesus didn't wait for the woman to clean herself up before showing her love. He loved her in the midst of her brokenness. And this is something we often forget in our world. We feel like we have to have it all together before we can be loved or before we can offer love to others. But the truth is, healing starts when we allow ourselves to be seen in all of our mess, naked and unashamed, and we allow others to do the same. So what does that mean for us today? It means we need to be more intentional about emotional connection. We need to be curious about how people are really doing, not just on the surface level, but deeply. So remember to ask people their five and give them the gift of listening. Give them space to be vulnerable. And remember, we don't need to fix anyone. Jesus didn't come to condemn, he came to heal. And that's what we're here to do too. Healing doesn't always come from having the right answers, but it's from offering grace, compassion, and a willingness to listen. Proverbs 27:17 says, "Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another." So let's be the kind of people who sharpen each other, not through criticism or judgment, but through deep, authentic connection and care. So as we close today's episode, I just want to encourage you to think about how you can connect more deeply with the people in your life. Think about what's one way you can show up for someone and truly see them and listen without judgment. Like, let's be the kind of people who don't just take from others, but who we give of our time and our energy and our love freely. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone. And for more tips on how to really deepen your relationships with God, yourself, and others, please make sure to pick up your copy of my book, The Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Gold Digger. I'll see you in the next one.